Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Hub channel. Tonight, we're stepping into a world hidden in petals, bark, roots, and leaves. Plant extracts may sound simple at first, yet they have been shaping our lives for thousands of years. From survival and medicine, to flavors and perfumes, and even sacred rituals, they have been one of the most influential ingredients in human history. Inside a crushed leaf, a citrus peel, or a drop of resin, there is a chemistry so rich and so precise that it can cool the skin, sharpen the senses, and even control the behavior of animals. Some of these substances have changed the course of empires, while others have simply made our lives more pleasurable. And many began not for us at all, but as part of the silent struggles of plants themselves, as they defend, attract, warn, and endure. If you enjoy these gentle journeys, I invite you to like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here, too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is settle in. Let your shoulders relax, and notice your eyes grow heavy. And as the day begins to gently fade away, join me as we explore this hidden chemistry of the living world together. Let's begin. Plant extracts can heal, poison, perfume, and preserve all at once. Across history, people learned that the same green world could soothe a fever, stop a heart, send a rheum, or keep decay away. That is what makes plant extracts so astonishing. They are not single-purpose inventions. They are compact chemical toolkits. A resin from a tree might seal a wound and also slow the growth of microbes. A flower oil might lure pollinators in the wild, then later become part of perfume in a palace. A bitter alkaloid might defend a leaf from insects, then become a medicine in the right dose, and a poison in the wrong one. Even spices in the kitchen often carry protective chemistry that once helped the plant survive heat, mold, or hungry animals. When humans learned to draw out these hidden substances, they were not creating magic from nothing. They were opening a cabinet of powers that plants have been quietly building for millions of years. A single leaf can hide hundreds of powerful chemical compounds. A leaf may look simple from a distance, flat, green, silent, almost ordinary. Yet inside that small piece of living tissue, there can be a whole laboratory at work. Plants do not make just one useful substance. They make families of them. Some protect against fungi. Some repel insects. Some absorb sunlight safely. Some repair damage after heat or drought. Others shape scent, taste, and color. Scientists who analyze a single leaf can find an intricate crowd of molecules, each with a role, each produced at just the right place and moment. Mint leaves carry cooling compounds. Tea leaves hold bitter tannins, caffeine, and aromatic molecules that shift during processing. Even a crushed tomato leaf releases a sharp green smell because damaged cells suddenly mix chemicals that were stored apart. So when you hold one leaf in your hand, you are not holding one ingredient. You are holding a crowded chemical city hidden in plain sight. Humans have built medicines by studying what plants already make. Long before laboratories, people watched the living world closely. They noticed which roots eased pain, which barks lowered fevers, and which seeds were too dangerous to touch. Much of medicine began there, with human beings learning from plant chemistry step by step. Willow bark pointed the way toward familiar pain relief. Foxglove revealed compounds that could slow and steady the struggling heart. Zinconia bark offered quinine, which became one of the great anti-malarial discoveries in history. Later, chemists learned how to isolate these substances, refine them, test them, and sometimes reshape them into safer or more reliable drugs. Yet the starting point was often the same. Nature had already done the hard part. The plant had evolved a molecule with powerful effects, and humans learned how to listen. That is one reason plant extracts remain so compelling. They are not relics from the past. They are clues, and sometimes the first whisper of tomorrow's medicine. Vanilla's most famous flavor begins inside the orchid's seed pod. Vanilla feels familiar now. It is in cakes, ice cream, candles, and perfumes. Yet its story begins in a plant that is anything but ordinary. Vanilla comes from an orchid, a climbing tropical vine whose flowers open only briefly. If pollination succeeds, the plant grows long green pods packed with tiny seeds and the raw materials of future aroma. Fresh from the vine, those pods do not smell like the vanilla most people know. The famous scent appears only after careful curing. Heat, drying, and time allow enzymes and stored compounds inside the pod to change. Slowly, the rich sweetness emerges. That transformation is part of what makes vanilla so captivating. It is not a flavor that simply exists, waiting to be picked. It has to be coaxed into being. Behind that soft, comforting note lies one of the most labor-intensive flavor journeys on Earth. Hidden inside the fruit of an orchid, most people would never recognize. Caffeine is a plant defense that humans turned into a ritual. To us, caffeine is morning. It is the first sip of coffee, the warmth of tea, the small lift that helps the world come into focus. To the plant, it began as something very different. Caffeine is defensive chemistry. In leaves and seeds, it can discourage insects and interfere with the bodies of creatures small enough to be harmed by it. Some plants even release it into the soil, where it may affect nearby growth. Yet humans encountered this bitter stimulant and did something plants never planned for. We made it social. We built ceremonies around it. Coffee houses became places of conversation, debate, and trade. Tea became linked with hospitality, discipline, and pause. Across continents, the same plant compound moved from defense into culture. That is part of its wonder. A molecule shaped by evolutionary struggle ended up woven into breakfast tables, night shifts, study sessions, and shared afternoons, quietly guiding the rhythm of modern life. Some of history's deadliest poisons began as ordinary plant extracts. Many deadly plant poisons do not come from exotic monsters of the forest. They come from leaves, seeds, roots, and flowers that can look almost harmless. That is part of what makes them so unsettling. Plants cannot run from danger, so some evolved chemistry that could stop an animal after one bite. Over time, humans learned to recognize those hidden dangers and sometimes to exploit them. Deadly nightshade carries atropine and related compounds that can disrupt vision, heartbeat, and awareness. Hemlock helped shape one of history's most famous executions. Castor beans contain ricin, one of the most feared natural toxins known. Even ornamental plants in gardens can hold potent cardiac or nerve-affecting chemicals. None of this is accidental. It is survival written in molecules. A plant with strong defenses is less likely to be eaten, stripped, or destroyed. So behind the beauty of flowers and foliage lies an ancient truth. Nature's chemistry can be elegant and merciless. The scent of roses comes from a chemical orchestra, not one note. When someone says a rose smells like a rose, it sounds simple. yet the fragrance itself is anything but simple. Rose scent is built from many aromatic compounds rising together in shifting proportions, and that blend can change from one variety to another. Some molecules bring sweetness, others add spice, fruit, citrus, or a faint green freshness. What reaches your nose as one seamless perfume is really a layered performance, with each chemical adding depth, brightness, softness, or lift. Temperature matters. Time of day matters. Even the stage of the bloom matters. A rose opening in cool morning air may smell different by afternoon. This complexity is why rose perfume has fascinated growers, distillers, and chemists for centuries. They are not chasing one ingredient. They are trying to capture an accord so balanced that the mind reads it as effortless beauty. Behind that familiar floral breath is a remarkable act of natural composition, precise as music. Tiny amounts of plant extract can transform food, mood, and memory. Some of the most powerful effects in daily life arrive in vanishingly small amounts. A few drops of vanilla can change a batter from flat to inviting. A trace of mint can make water taste colder than it is. The scent of orange peel or crushed basil can alter how a room feels before anyone says a word. Plant extracts work this way because our senses are exquisitely sensitive to certain molecules. They do not need much. A little can awaken appetite, comfort, nostalgia, alertness, or calm. Smell is especially powerful because it is closely tied to memory. One fragrance can pull a person toward a kitchen from childhood, a garden after rain, or a holiday table long gone. That is why plant chemistry feels larger than its size. Tiny quantities can reshape experience itself. They can change what food tastes like, how a space feels, and which forgotten parts of life suddenly come rushing back. Many plant extracts evolved first as weapons in nature's silent wars. Plants may seem passive, but they live in constant conflict. They are chewed, pierced, infected, shaded, crowded, and attacked from every side. Because they cannot flee, many evolved chemistry as a form of warfare. Bitter alkaloids discourage herbivores. Sharp sulfur compounds burst into action when tissues are damaged. Sticky resins trap insects and seal wounds. Some roots release substances into the soil that make life harder for nearby rivals. Other plants send airborne signals after an attack, warning their neighbors that danger is close. Seen this way, a forest or meadow is not chemically peaceful at all. It is full of defenses, traps, alarms, and countermeasures moving through air, sap, bark, and leaf. This is where so many plant extracts began. Not as flavorings, remedies, or perfumes for human use, but as survival tools forged in endless evolutionary pressure. We entered the story later, discovering that nature's weapons could also become medicine, spice, and scent. Mint feels cold because its extract tricks your nerves. When mint touches your tongue or skin, nothing actually becomes colder. Instead, menthol binds to receptors that normally respond to a drop in temperature, and your nervous system reports coolness even when the air or liquid stays the same. That is why mint can make chewing gum feel icy, toothpaste feel fresh, and a breeze across mentholated skin feel suddenly sharper. It is a chemical illusion, but a very convincing one. Plants did not evolve this sensation to brighten human breath. Mint likely uses menthol and related compounds as protection, making itself less appealing to insects and animals. Yet to us, the effect feels clean, vivid, and strangely invigorating. One small leaf can therefore rewrite your sensory world for a moment. It can persuade the body that cold has arrived out of nowhere, proving that plant extracts do not just flavor experience. Sometimes they edit perception itself, right at the level of the nerves. Chilly heat comes from a plant compound that mammals learn to fear. The fire in a chili is not a taste in the ordinary sense. It is pain. Capsaicin binds to the same receptors that respond to dangerous heat, so your mouth reacts as though it has touched something burning. Your heart may quicken. Your eyes may water. Your skin may flush. For the plant, this was a clever move. Mammals tend to crush seeds with their teeth, which destroys the plant's future. Birds do not sense capsaicin the same way, so they can swallow the fruit and carry the seeds elsewhere. In other words, the pepper found a way to discourage the wrong diners and welcome the right ones. Humans complicated the story. We turned that warning signal into cuisine, competition, and craving. We chase the burn, sweat through it, and come back for more. Few plant extracts show human defiance more clearly than the chili, which began as a deterrent and became delight. Lavender extract can influence insects long before humans smell it. Before lavender became associated with linen, soap, and evening calm, its fragrance was already shaping the lives of much smaller creatures. The oils rising from its flowers are signals in the insect world. Some help guide pollinators toward nectar, others discourage pests or interfere with insects that might feed on the plant. To a bee, the scent is not a decorative extra. It is part of a map. To a hungry herbivore, it can be a warning. What humans notice as softness or freshness is therefore only one layer of a much older biological language. Lavender is broadcasting constantly, and insects are among the first to hear it. That hidden conversation is part of what makes the plant so captivating. A calm, smelling bloom in a garden is also an active chemical beacon, negotiating with pollinators, warding off trouble, and managing its place in the landscape. Its perfume reaches us last, after evolution has already assigned it work. Nicotine is a plant insecticide that also hooks the human brain. Tobacco did not evolve nicotine for human fascination. It evolved it as a weapon. In insects, nicotine can attack the nervous system with brutal efficiency, overwhelming the same kind of signaling pathways that living bodies depend on to move and survive. That made it an effective defense in the ancient contest between leaf and predator. Humans discovered the same molecule and found that, in smaller doses, it could sharpen attention, alter mood, and create a rapid feeling of reward. The reason lies in the brain, where nicotine can mimic one of the body's own signaling chemicals and trigger pathways linked to pleasure, learning, and repetition. That is how plant defense became one of history's most powerful human habits. It crossed from field to culture, from ecology to addiction, carrying both stimulation and danger in the same compact structure. Few extracts show more clearly how a molecule can be useful, seductive, and destructive without ever changing its basic nature. Quinine from bark once helped humanity battle malaria. There was a time when vast parts of the world were haunted by a fever that seemed almost inescapable. Malaria could hollow out armies, stall trade, and make whole landscapes deadly to enter. Then came bark from the cinchona tree, carried from the Andes, and prized for the bitter compound hidden inside it. Quinine did not end malaria, but it gave people a powerful tool against one of history's great killers. That changed exploration, empire, medicine, and survival itself. travelers, soldiers, and doctors all came to depend on a substance drawn from a tree that had evolved its chemistry for reasons of its own. The taste was harsh, but the effect could be life-saving. Even tonic water carries a faint echo of that story. Behind its bitterness lies a chapter in which plant extraction helped humans push back against disease and move through regions that had once seemed nearly impossible to endure. Foxglove compounds changed heart medicine by slowing a failing pulse. Foxglove is one of those plants that seems almost theatrical. Tall spikes of purple flowers rise from the ground with a beauty that invites admiration. Yet inside the plant are compounds powerful enough to alter the rhythm of the human heart. In carefully controlled doses, substances derived from foxglove helped doctors strengthen weak contractions and slow certain dangerously rapid heartbeats. That was a profound discovery, because it revealed that a failing pulse could sometimes be steadied by chemistry hidden in a garden flower. The margin for error, however, is small. Too much can become dangerous very quickly. That tension gave foxglove a special place in medical history. Poised between remedy and risk, it showed that the line between healing and harm is often measured not in different substances, but in different amounts. Few examples capture the drama of plant extracts more vividly than this. A blossom that looks almost storybook gentle can reach directly into the machinery of life. The rosy pink of grapefruit comes with unusually bitter chemistry. Grapefruit arrives with bright color, fresh scent, and the promise of sweetness. Yet the first bite often carries a surprise. Beneath the juicy brightness lies an assertive bitterness that sets it apart from most other citrus fruits. That character comes from compounds such as nearingin, which give grapefruit much of its unmistakable edge. It is one reason the fruit feels more adult than playful, less like candy, and more like a deliberate awakening of the palate. But grapefruit chemistry is fascinating for another reason too. Its extracts can interact with enzymes in the body that help process certain medicines, sometimes changing how strongly those medicines act. So this breakfast fruit is not chemically simple at all. It is a vivid reminder that flavor and physiology can meet in unexpected ways. A pink wedge on a plate can carry beauty, bitterness, and biological consequence together, turning an ordinary kitchen moment into something far more chemically dramatic. Tea leaves hold different extracts depending on how they are processed. Black tea, green tea, white tea, and oolong can taste so different that they seem to come from separate parts, yet many begin as leaves from the same species. What changes the experience is processing. Once picked, the leaves may be heated quickly to halt certain reactions, or they may be allowed to oxidize, curl, darken, and transform. During that journey, the balance of extracted compounds shifts. Fresh grassy notes may soften. Floral hints may deepen. Tannins may become rounder or more pronounced. New aromatic molecules can appear as the leaf's chemistry rearranges itself after harvest. This is what makes tea so enchanting. It is not just a plant ingredient dropped into hot water. It is a record of choices made after picking, each one shaping what your cup will become. The same hillside leaf can end as something brisk, smoky, buttery, floral, malty, or deep, depending on how human hands guide its chemistry. Coffee aroma comes from hundreds of compounds released after roasting. A coffee bean before roasting does not smell like the brew people line up for each morning. The famous aroma is born in heat. As the beans roast, sugars, acids, proteins, and other stored compounds begin to react in waves, generating a dense cloud of new molecules. Some smell nutty, some smell caramel, like fruity, smoky, chocolatey, spicy, or even faintly floral. Together, they create one of the most complex everyday aromas on Earth. That is why coffee can feel so rich before you even taste it. The scent is layered, and the brain starts reading those layers instantly. Roasting level changes the whole performance. A lighter roast may preserve bright and delicate notes, while darker roasting can push the chemistry toward bitterness, depth, and smoke. What makes this remarkable is how much transformation is involved. The raw seed